Hi, are you ready to dive back into the captivating story of Joseph? I can hardly wait, so let's do it. So this chapter 43 opens with them telling us how the grain that they had gotten from Egypt had been exhausted. Now they came back and obviously asked Jacob to let Benjamin go back because Joseph had said they will never see his face again unless they bring him, and he had refused. But now hunger had kind of changed the whole dynamic. So when the grain they bought from Egypt was exhausted, Jacob asked them to go back and buy more. Now we see how Judah appeared to be the most pragmatic one. Even though he was shady himself, if you recall, with the whole business of the things that happened between he and Tamar, but then we saw him own up and he never touched her again. And then he also admitted his wrongdoing. But here we see that he is the one who presented a strong enough argument to their father Jacob, and that was what allowed him to release Benjamin to accompany them to Egypt as per Joseph's request. And obviously they leave and they get back to Egypt. And then I realized, so Simeon was in prison the whole time. Now I don't know how long it was, because I know that it was quite ahead. It was like 450 miles from Egypt to where they were and back, and then obviously he waited until the grain, so it must have been a while, but it was nothing compared to Joseph, so I'm not even trying to feel sorry for him right now. And obviously when he came back, and then Joseph was up with, they came back obviously and met him, and he said, oh, they'll eat with him. I bet Joseph's servants and household were wondering what was up with their master and these strange Hebrew guys, because yeah, he was acting a bit off. Joseph kept messing with them though, which was way less than what they deserved. But I understood that it was all in his grand plan to reunite them. But poor Jacob really went through it as a result, because he was, he was so pained to release Benjamin. But then it was all part of Joseph's plan. Can I really just take a minute to just say how Joseph is the real MVP? Like, even after everything that had gone on, he didn't let it make him bitter. Instead, it made him better. He was still emotional around his brothers in spite of his tough exterior, considering who he was in Egypt. But you could tell that he really had like a heart for his family, and he had forgiven them. That was just amazing. So we'd read that Egyptians despised Hebrews, that they wouldn't even sit at the same table with them to eat. But you see, the thing about favor, it really makes a difference in how things turn out. Imagine Pharaoh being excited that Joseph's family was coming, that his brothers had come to him. This is Pharaoh, obviously the king of the Egyptians, and they really did despise Jews, but he didn't even think about that, He sent them back to pack up and move to Egypt, where he gave them the best land. It was really an emotional read for me, because I could tell that this was a transference of favor. Pharaoh's favor for Joseph was transferred to his family as well. That's so amazing. And he even sent for Jacob with supplies and gifts and told him, leave all your stuff, just keep coming. That was so good. Joseph's reception of the news that Joseph was alive warmed my heart. Imagine getting back someone who you thought that you had lost forever, and then you find out that the person had been alive the whole time. Now let's get to my hashtag getting to know God lesson. God brings us out of bondage into freedom. 3 times in these chapters, Joseph told his brothers not to blame themselves for what they did to him, that it was all part of God's plan for preservation. He literally tried to free them from their guilt, and God perfected it all. Remember also that God also freed Joseph from bondage as a slave and a prisoner, and made him into a ruler. So God truly is a chain breaker and a bondage freer from. I made that up, but you know what I mean. Thank you for joining me today, and tomorrow we'll continue as we rush to the end of Genesis, and I'll be sharing lessons from Genesis 46 to 47. See you then. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.